A Marvel actor revealed Chris Evans' Captain America's plan for returning the Infinity Stones. Avengers Endgame wrapped up the arcs for several original Avengers. Black Widow traded her life for the Soul Stone. Iron Man gave it all to save the universe, and Cap took a time travel detour to return the Infinity Stones and live out his happy ending. After Endgame, Chris Evans stepped away from the MCU, but fans haven't stopped hoping for a comeback. Chris Evans first stepped into the role of Steve Rogers in 2011's Captain America: The First Avenger and quickly became a key figure in the MCU. Over the years, he faced off against villains like the Red Skull and Thanos, and even clashed with his fellow Avengers in Captain America: Civil War. That movie left Rogers on the run, branded a fugitive alongside Natasha Romanoff by Scarlett Johansson and Sam Wilson by Anthony Mackie. The trio made their comeback in Avengers: Infinity War after a 2-year absence, but there's still plenty of room to explore the stories from their time on the run. Now, it seems previous rumors might be true. A Marvel actor just revealed that he pitched the idea for a project focused on Captain America's mission to return the Infinity Stones. The buzz suggested a Disney Plus series could be in development, focusing on Steve Rogers taking up the Nomad persona after leaving behind the Captain America title and costume. The storyline was rumored to follow Rogers uncovering a shocking truth: the President of the United States is tied to the sinister Secret Empire. There were claims that the Nomad series would focus on Captain America returning the Infinity Stones, during which he'd cross paths with Tony Stark in the past, explaining Robert Downey Jr.'s rumored return as Iron Man, with Scarlett Johansson possibly reappearing as Black Widow. However, it's since been confirmed that Robert Downey Jr. is coming back as Dr. Doom, not Iron Man. This reveal happened at San Francisco Comic-Con, where RDJ, disguised in a Dr. Doom mask, joined the Russo brothers on stage to announce his return. He's set to debut in Doomsday and is rumored to appear in the upcoming Fantastic Four movie. While it sounds plausible, I think this Fantastic Four connection might just stay in the rumor zone for now. We've got RDJ back, so now it's Chris Evans' turn. Sure, we saw him briefly as Johnny Storm in Deadpool and Wolverine, but that was more of a fun cameo than a proper return. If we're talking about the ultimate comeback, it's got to be Chris Evans as Nomad. Interestingly, Marvel actor Ross Marquand, who played Red Skull in Infinity War and Endgame and voiced Ultron in What If, recently showed up at the Edmonton Expo in Alberta. The actor revealed he pitched Marvel a Disney Plus series about Chris Evans returning as Captain America returning the Infinity Stones. The actor revealed he wanted it as a movie. I also thought it would be really interesting to make a standalone movie with Cap returning all the stones, because when he jumps into the time machine at the end of Endgame, he's gone for a second and then comes back as an old man. But I think it would be really interesting to see what happens each time he returns those stones. And that would be a fascinating movie in and of itself, I think. I hope Red Skull does return. I don't know if they have any bad blood anymore. Cap probably does, but I think Red Skull is cursed with infinite knowledge, so he might not care about revenge at all. I hope he comes back. We'll see. Fingers crossed. Now, Chris Evans returning as Steve Rogers would be epic, but if it happens, it should be for this MCU movie, not just a story about returning the Infinity Stones. The untold story between Captain America: Civil War and Avengers: Infinity War would be way more intriguing to explore. Instead of a cosmic adventure, a Nomad-focused project could dive into a grounded, character-driven narrative. It would give us a deeper look at Steve Rogers' journey as he operates under the radar, testing Chris Evans' acting skills in a more subtle and intimate MCU story. Now that would be something special. In Marvel Comics, Steve Rogers first took on the Nomad identity in 1974's Captain America #1 180 after losing faith in the U.S. government. As the man without a country, he left behind his role as Captain America, though his time as Nomad only lasted 4 issues before he returned to his iconic mantle. In the MCU, however, Rogers spent 2 years as a fugitive after Civil War. A glimpse of this time was shown in the Avengers: Infinity War Prelude comics, where Rogers, Romanoff, and Wilson stopped a terrorist group smuggling Chitauri weapons to the U.S. Still, it's hard to believe that was all Steve did as Nomad. There's likely a lot more to his story during those years, and it would be fascinating to see that explored on screen. The MCU has already shown that a Nomad-focused Steve Rogers movie could totally work. Marvel Studios isn't new to telling retrospective stories about its major heroes. Take 2021's Black Widow, for example. It was set during the 2 years between Civil War and Infinity War. Despite Natasha's death in Endgame, Scarlett Johansson came back for one last ride, and the film served as a deep character study while also revealing key details about her past. A similar approach could work perfectly for Steve Rogers. A Nomad movie could dig into his time as a fugitive, giving us a closer look at his struggles and growth, just like Black Widow did for Natasha. It would be a great way to bring Chris Evans back while exploring untapped parts of Steve's story. While Black Widow may not have reached the level of success Marvel Studios hoped for, it still played a key role in evolving how MCU stories are told. The movie introduced 3 important characters: Yelena Belova, Natasha's sister, Red Guardian, and Taskmaster, while diving deeper into the spy-focused side of the MCU. All 3 characters are set to play major roles in the upcoming Thunderbolts movie, slated for release in May 2025. There's even speculation that the movie could be renamed by the end as Dark Avengers or Avengers. This theory stems from an asterisk in the movie's title and some comments from Marvel insiders. If true, it could signal a major role for them in upcoming Secret Wars and Doomsday. Just like with Black Widow, there are plenty of untold stories about other major MCU heroes, and there's nothing stopping Marvel Studios from developing more retrospective adventures to fill those gaps. A Nomad project, focusing on Steve Rogers before his return in Infinity War, could be the perfect, grounded, gritty story to bring Chris Evans back into the MCU. Captain America's solo movies have always had a more realistic, down-to-earth vibe, and a Nomad film would continue that tone while diving deeper into Steve's journey. One of the biggest concerns about Chris Evans returning as Captain America is that it might overshadow the new Captain America, Sam Wilson. After Avengers Endgame, Steve Rogers passed on the mantle and shield to Sam, marking a significant moment for both characters. Sam's journey from Falcon to Captain America was beautifully explored in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and his acceptance of the role carried real emotional weight. A Nomad Steve Rogers movie would actually help preserve Sam's Captain America by keeping Steve's story separate. It would allow Sam to continue growing as the new Captain America without competing with the original, while still giving fans a chance to see more of Steve Rogers in a different, non-Avengers context. Sam Wilson needs time and space to establish himself as the MCU's Captain America, especially with his upcoming appearance in Captain America: Brave New World, set to release on February 14, 2025. However, the return of Steve Rogers as Captain America could overshadow Sam's development and disrupt his journey. That's why it might be a better move for Marvel Studios to avoid bringing Chris Evans back as Cap in the present day. A Nomad project would be the perfect solution. It would offer a deep, emotional story about Steve Rogers without revisiting his role as Captain America, allowing Sam to fully embrace his new mantle without feeling undermined. This approach lets both characters shine in their own arcs without stepping on each other's toes. Well, that's it. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more updates on this and other exciting upcoming movies. We'll see you next time.